Hello, everybody. We're going to tell about conditional sentences. In the conditional sentences, we have four types of condition. The zero conditional, the first type conditional, the second type, third type, and we are going to have the zero type conditional alone, the first and second and third together. We're going to start with the zero conditional. It means that we're going to tell about facts or general truths that don't change. Whatever condition happens, it doesn't change this situation. So whenever we have example, if water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. We're going to use the simple present tense plus simple present tense. It is called zero conditional. This situation doesn't change its effect. Then, if we have a situation which one thing always causes another, also we're going to use the zero conditional because it is general. If you smoke cigarettes, your health suffers. If conditional comes at the beginning of the sentence, it's always followed by a comma. If you smoke cigarettes, this the conditional clause followed by a comma, the main clause without it is after the if conditional clause. All this sentence is called a complex sentence. In a complex sentence, if the adverbial clause of condition comes at the beginning and the main clause at the end, they are separated by a comma. In this zero conditional, always we can replace the if clause with when. For example, if water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. We can say when water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. Or when you smoke cigarettes, your health suffers instead of if. In if clauses, the other all types of if clauses, we have type 1, which tells about real situation that happen at present, but they are telling about the future. The if clause type 2 conditional, they tell about the present, but we have to go one tense back whenever we use the if clause, so we're going to use the simple past tense. In the third type conditional, we're going to use the past perfect because they are telling about situation which didn't happen in the past. They are called hypothetical situation. Example, these are the form of the type 1, type 2, and 3 conditional. The if clause in the first type conditional, we use the simple present. In the main clause, we use will plus please base form, infinitive. Okay? We are not allowed to change the verb after the modal auxiliary, after will, would, can, could, etc. So, for the future, to tell about the future, we use the simple present tense in the if clause and will plus the main form of the verb in the main clause. Then in the second type conditional, we have to go one tense back to tell about the present. We use the simple past tense plus in the main clause we use would and the infinitive. After would, always infinitive, the verb doesn't change. In the third type conditional, we use the past perfect. In the if clause, it means had plus the past participle. Had plus past participle. In the main clause, we use would have plus past participle. Would have, which replaces had, in order to tell about the past. These are the forms, the three forms, okay? Generally, the form of the conditional. Example, we have, if the game is good, this is the first type conditional, which tells about the future. If the game is good, I will play it. In order to tell about the present, which is unreal, if the game was good, do we use was? No, we use were. If the game were good. So if the game was good, sometimes in some books you're going to see it was, but in reality always we use were. At last I'm going to tell about it. I would play it. If the game had been good, this is the third type conditional, I would have played. These are examples of the if conditional. Example, other example, if I study, comma. Why? Because it's at the beginning of the sentence we have the if clause. In the main clause, I will pass the exam. This to tell about the future. If I studied, to tell about the present, we have to go one tense back. We use the simple past tense instead of the present. In the main clause, I use would plus base form. In the third type conditional, it is if I had studied past perfect to tell about the past, I would have passed the exam. Then we're going to see about the examples. If we have if clause at the end of the sentence. If clause at the end of the sentence, is it preceded by a comma? Never. I will pass the exam if I study, so they are not separated. I would pass the exam if I studied in the past. Have passed the exam if I would have studied past perfect to tell about the past. The third type tells about a situation which didn't happen in the past. Example, I wouldn't have left my job if I had known. What is the tense of had known? Past perfect. It means had in the past plus past participle. If I had known how difficult it is to find another one. The true situation, which was in the past, I didn't know. I didn't know how difficult it is to find another one. So we're going to put a condition. If I had known the situation was in the past, I didn't know. We cannot change the past. I left my job, so I would say in a condition, I wouldn't have left my job. Wouldn't have, it means had in the past, but because it is in the main clause, we use would plus have plus past participle. I had known, verb to have in the past, had plus past participle, past perfect. Now we have another example. I would have taken a photo if I had brought my camera with me. I would have taken, it means past perfect. We have would have plus past participle in the main clause. Had brought, it's in the past. It is in the affirmative. I would have taken a photo if I had brought. What is the true situation? I didn't. Negative. I didn't bring my camera with me. Simple past tense and the negative. The condition is the opposite of the situation that happened in the past, but I cannot change. Now, he would have died if the ambulance hadn't arrived quickly. Hadn't arrived, it is negative in the conditional form. If the ambulance hadn't arrived, past perfect, negative. The true situation that happened in the past, the ambulance arrived. But the ambulance arrived. This is the past, simple past tense. What was the situation? We are putting the condition about something that didn't happen in the past. It is the opposite of what happened in the past. We put a condition. The ambulance arrived, so we put the condition. If the ambulance hadn't arrived, one tense back to show a condition about the past. Then we have if I were. This is what happened on the second slide. They used was. I said it is wrong. Always we have to use were. If I were, if he were, if she were. We use were with I, he, she, it, we, you, and they if we have condition. We never use was. Note that with the verb to be, we use if and these subject pronouns, any subject pronoun plus were. If I were not in debt, I would quit my job. This is a conditional sentence. We call it complex sentence where we have conditional clause plus main clause plus verb to be at the form of where. This is to show the present. We use simple past tense to show the present where instead of was. If we're going to use the past perfect to show the past, so we say if I had not been in debt, I would have quit my job. So where for the present situation, unreal present situation, we use where with all subject pronouns. If we're going to use it for the past, I would put if I had been. Okay? Thank you all. Bye for today.